Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10 on broadcasted on Channels Television live from Lagos. A quick reminder of our main stories now. Swedes authorities to return Nigeria's looted funds to the tune of about $230 million. The People's Democratic Party's leadership conflict shifts from convention to court with conflicting verdicts. Our series reviewing the Buhari administration's 1 year in office today takes a look at the presidency. And Egypt's forensic chief denies reports of an examination pointing towards an explosion of the crashed Egypt airplane. Do remember that all our top stories can be found on our website. It's channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. Do visit m.channelstv.com to view us live on your mobile device. You can also download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS and Windows phones from their respective stores. We also encourage you to use the Eyewitness feature in the Channels TV app. If you've got pictures or videos you'd like to share with us, simply tap on the Channels TV app on your device. Swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu and follow the instructions. Well, here are some pictures you sent into our Eyewitness portal. First is this photo from Bagi community in Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. It shows residents carrying placards with various inscriptions. Our Eyewitness reporter says they are protesting against an alleged indiscriminate billing system. And this photo was sent in from Enugu-Onitsha Highway. It shows the road in deplorable condition. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the state authorities to fix it. And this photo was sent in from Oluwabukumi Street in Agility area of mile 12 here in Lagos. Our Eyewitness reporter wants the government to fix this road. And next is this picture from Nwaliye Efebua area of Asaba, the Delta State capital. It shows a heap of refuse in this public place. Our Eyewitness reporter calls on relevant agencies to clean it up. And finally is this photo from Idiaba area in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. It shows students trying to cross the road. Our Eyewitness reporter says that the large number of schools on this road, the government ought to provide a footbridge. We do sincerely thank you so much indeed for sending in those pictures, as we ask that you keep them coming. The Sexual Harassment in Tertiary Educational Institutions Prohibition Bill has passed the crucial second reading in the Senate. The bill specifically makes it a criminal offence for any educator in a tertiary educational institution who violates or exploits the student-lecturer relationship for sexual favours to be punished. Our correspondent, Linda Akibe, reports.
It's a bill which is sure to capture the attention of Nigerians. The Sexual Harassment in Tertiary Institutions Prohibition Bill. Senator Ovie Omoagege is the sponsor of the bill. He's seeking tighter statutory protection for students against sexual hostility and all forms of sexual harassment in tertiary institutions.
For far too long, sexual predators masquerading as educators have plied the corridors of our nation's higher institutions unchecked. Mr. President, in 2014, the International Journal of Applied Psychology noted that in Nigeria, sex for grades in the tertiary institutions is a reality, and the male lecturers in particular perceive themselves as teen gods, and such unprofessional behavior can be perpetuated unchecked.
The bill also stipulates as offences solicitation of sex or sexual advances by lecturers which result to intimidation, hostile or offensive environment for students.
Mr. President, there is also the suggestion that the female students harass the educators by their mode of dressing, and that this bill isn't doing enough to protect the educators. However, the educator can activate institutional disciplinary actions against any student predator. What is more, a student pays a price for saying no to a predator's demand for sexual favors. Whereas the reverse is the case. If a student were to harass an educator, the educator pays no price for saying no to the student.
The bill enjoyed the support of majority of the lawmakers.
Let me also say that it cuts across and is beyond tertiary institutions. We have noticed, Mr. President, that even banks employ women as baits to get bankable funds.
The most important thing, if we are going to do this, is to make sure that we put all these players into the code of conduct within the laws of existing universities.
We must have tough laws that make it easier to prosecute offenders, as opposed to making it more difficult to prosecute offenders. So we will ensure that this bill is fast-tracked and referred to the committee and hopefully come back quickly so that we can actually pass it into law.
After the debate, the bill was sent to the Senate Committee on Judiciary for further legislative work. Linda Kibe, Channels Television News.
You're watching the news at 10 as we quickly shift gears to our Abuja studios where Gloria Umezoke is standing by to take us through. Gloria.
Hello, Gimba. Good to see you and welcome to Abuja, the nation's capital. Benue State Governor Mr. Samuel Otom has commended efforts made by the federal government to end cases of attacks by suspected herdsmen on local council areas in some states of the federation. The governor said this after a meeting with a delegation from the Movement Against Herdsmen Occupation of Benue Territories. This comes ahead of a meeting of the Nigeria Governors Forum on Thursday, May the 26th in Makurdi, the Benue State capital. The governors are expected to discuss the disagreements on the proposed grazing reserve bill and propositions made for ranchers.
Been worse, if not through the intervention of Mr. President. It needs to be commended than people trying to castigate federal government. Mr. President has done very well. As a leader, you cannot do more than that. He's a man who believes in the rule of law. And so getting the military and the police to ensure that they protect lives and property in this state is a commendable effort. And the issue of governors visiting Enugu, I was contacted before the incident of Enugu. The unfortunate thing was that I was already jetting out with Mr. President to China. But since I came back, we had agreed on a date because movement of governors is not just easy because of the huge responsibilities they have in their various states. But now it has been confirmed that on Thursday, which is 26th, I guess, they will be here to visit me just like they pay solidarity visit to the governor of Enugu State.
Meanwhile, the Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, has taken measures to curb the attacks on residents by herdsmen, saying cattle grazing is no longer allowed in the state, at least not publicly. The governor's order is coming after attacks on the people of Okeako in Ikole Ekiti local government area, where 2 people died. He has asked those interested in the business to open a ranch.
Sheer unbelief written on the governor's face as he visits victims of last week's attack on Okeako community in Ikole Ekiti local government area. The wounds inflicted on their bodies tell the stories of their horrific experience as many fled for their lives. Eyewitness reports say gunmen suspected to be herdsmen arrived at about 8 p.m. and started shooting sporadically. These are the lucky ones, as 2 people lost their lives during the attacks. A distraught governor could no longer hide his feelings.
I'm going to take a bill to the House of Assembly. I'm going to criminalize it. I'm going to ensure that this thing stops. They are hiding under this grazing thing to destroy our people.
Condemning the attacks, the traditional ruler believes security agencies should work together to flush out the attackers.
What I believe should be the solution is that the military, the police, and our local hunters should be married together so that they can work together. We know our geographical terrain, so we will map out how we can capture them. They are in our forest. We share boundary with Kogi and Kwara, respectively. So if the police are ready to work with us, and if the military are ready to work with us, it's no big deal.
The State Police Command says everything is under control.
We want to see how we can deal with this situation so that it does not repeat itself. And we know that we have problem of manpower, so we have to be rationalizing it and make sure that at any particular point there is no lacuna.
In the meantime, local hunters are being mobilized by the community to partner the police in defending themselves. As cattle is the root of the crisis, Governor Ayo Fayose orders a ban on cattle grazing and rearing.
I'm banning cattle rearing in my state. If you want to rear cattle, get a ranch behind your house or not in public areas. You can't find leaves on the street. You find them in the bush. Create an environment that you can manage, not living where you are to come and be rearing cattle where you are not supposed to be doing it.
Meanwhile, the families of those who died are to get a donation of 2.5 million naira from the state government to help them deal with the loss of their breadwinners.
In continuation of our assessment of President Muhammadu Buhari's 1 year in office, we turn our attention today to the presidency. While the administration beats its chest to have done well in the fight against Boko Haram, many Nigerians point at the resurgence of Niger Delta militancy as one which the presidency has not yet come to grips with. Also, 1 year ago, the president promised to revamp the economy and fight corruption. But today, there is no shortage of criticisms regarding how the fight is being waged. State House correspondent Chukwuma Nwekwesi reports.
Security of lives and property. Fight against corruption. And revamping the economy. The tripod upon which President Muhammadu Buhari anchored his administration during the campaigns. 1 year after, the president and his lieutenants beat their chest. They say they have done well, first in the area of security.
14 out of 20 local governments in Borno State alone were under the sovereign authority of the Boko Haram. Today, as I speak to you, not one local government is under their sovereign authority.
But then we go to the Niger Delta, where the Avengers have come back, and they might be more deadly than the Boko Haram.
On coming to power a year ago, the president promised to fight corruption to a standstill.
We've been able to succeed to make Nigerians realize what is the cost of corruption to their lives.
Have we had any conviction yet? No. And who are the people being presented as these corrupt people?
The war on corruption is on the road to success.
During the campaigns, change was so much on the lips of the president and his men. Even the hype over revamping the economy seems to have died down, due mainly to the fall in oil price.
Why me? Why is it with when they spend the money, when they make the country insecure, that I come? Why did I come when the treasury is full? When a barrel was over 140 naira per barrel, and then when I come, it slipped down to 30. Why me?
There's no country that produces oil that this oil blood did not affect. All you need to do is change your strategy.
What we have going for us is our political will and our discipline. And this is why we are able to manage affairs even to this level.
It's a gradual process. Unfortunately, you need money to start with things too. So where is the money?
Observers of happenings around the presidency ask Nigerians to be patient with the administration. For them, 1 year is not enough to turn around what they call the rot of over 16 years. They say President Buhari has 3 more years to prove whether he means well for Nigerians. Chukwuma Onwekusi, Channels Television News.
In part 2, after the break, Dr. Samson Nzeribe joins us to take a closer look at the performance of the presidency in the last 1 year. Join us again.